Alright, so the bike is officially rebuilt and thankfully everything seems to be in one piece. They did a fair bit of damage to the boxes. These were all kind of ripped up, the tape. Alright, so today's our official first day of riding. We've run into a few hiccups so far. So yesterday my bike setup wasn't working properly and my bags kept falling off, but with some straps managed to fix it up a little bit, and I think I've actually got a pretty good setup finally. Dylan, Elliot and Cleggy got in last night, but Dylan and Cleggy's bikes were left in Paris, so they didn't turn up until about 11 AM, so that's been a little bit annoying to deal with. The weather's looking pretty crappy for day one, but it's not very windy. So that's a positive, and yeah, I'll show you my bike setup. He's having some problems with his bike so far. And here we have the wonder kid, Elliot, who decided 7 days ago that he wanted to come on this trip, and in that 7 days I believe has probably spent $7,000 to $8,000 to get himself here. When's the last time you rode a bike further than 10 kilometers, Elliot?
Been a couple of years. Like crazy nuts. Everything's very accurate.
Cleggy did say he spilt sealant all over his tires, but let's be real. Alright, it is now 4 hours past our estimated time we were leaving. Dylan had to take his bike to the bike shop to get some parts fixed. Cleggy had to take his bike to the bike shop, and Dylan, Cleggy and Elliot didn't book storage for their bikes, so we've been very delayed having to get their bikes into a storage facility. So we're looking at leaving at about maybe 4:30 PM now, which will have us finishing the first day at about 9:30 to 10:30 PM, which is a bit nasty except for the fact that sunset is at midnight, so that's pretty cool. All right, it is now 6:30 PM and we are finally about to start the day. We've hit roadblocks all day. Then we all had a beer and Elliot had a shot, and for some reason that beer's hit us all like a bit of a freight train, but we've only got about 60 Ks to ride and sunset's not till midnight, so yeah, should be good. Do we miss a turn? We've made it 6.7 Ks and Elliot's gears won't change. To give up on Elliot's bike. Gonna take it to a bike shop tomorrow. Could not figure out what the problem is, but he's stuck in the hardest gear. And Dylan did not take my advice to put a strap
All it did was waste one zip tie
on the back here, and it broke a zip tie, but you know, it didn't break, so that's the main thing.
I'm feeling pretty confident myself.
6.8 K an hour average speed. That is genuinely a quick walk. Sorry? Pretty fucking miserable start. It is so wet. It has been raining the entire time. This is the shoulder. You see that white line? That is the shoulder we've had to ride on with trucks passing us. And it's just bucketing. I'm gonna put the camera away because it's too wet. And we need to focus on riding, you know? Elliot is struggling a lot. Hopefully he pulls through and hopefully we can fix his bike tomorrow because this is gonna be bloody torture otherwise. Finally, it seems like we're there, and there's Cleggy off in the distance, and I'll go catch him. It is so cold and so wet right now that the downhill honestly hurts, but it's better than uphill.
Day one, night one complete. Day one is hard. It was our fault for leaving late. Got in around, I don't know, 11:30 p.m. It's been raining since we started the ride. It's still raining, not as heavy, but it's still raining. Riding about maybe 15 kilometers, and then we have to wait around in a town for a while at a bike shop to fix Elliot's bike, and then hopefully we can move a bit quicker from there, because that was a slow and painful first day. Although that was really just pure hell. Yesterday was pretty beautiful. Now I'm just looking forward to having a coffee.
Nork. Yeah, just Nork. I've changed one gear, and that is from small to large at the front, but I have not changed any gears at the back after 60k.
It's got the derailleur from hell.
Yeah, derailleur be not working. And I lost a bag as well yesterday, and it's just going well, so hopefully it's gonna get better.
Yeah. Perfect conditions for a ride. Or rain. To video it for evidence. The sun is out after raining for the last 30 hours. Even after how tough yesterday was, there does seem to actually be a glimmer of hope in the group. We're thinking we can get Elliot's bike fixed this morning, and then we don't have too far to ride, and we've got a nice campsite to go to. So day 2 is looking so far a lot better than day 1, but we'll see, you know.
Hope. Don't say that.
Hope.
Like the hedgehog. Absolutely unreal. We tightened the cable as we first diagnosed. We were
correct.
Yeah, we just didn't know how to fix it, and he just pulled the cable and it fixed it.
Thank you. Thank you, Yolaborg. Bike is fixed and we are making some time. Gone from averaging 10 k's an hour to 20 k's an hour. And we've come across something pretty crazy. It's unreal to me that in the middle of summer, you got these snow-capped mountains out there.
Very high considering our quick speed and our timing. It's now 5:53 p.m, meaning we wouldn't have even left yesterday. And now we've only got an hour to go. I'm very happy.
How you feeling, Nathan?
Yeah, I feel like this is the first time things have felt like they've gone right.
Day 2 is done. It was a really productive day fixing the problems, but all in all was still actually probably a little bit of a mental challenge because we were riding from 12 p.m. till about 8:30 p.m, so it's still 8.5 hours of riding, even if it wasn't that far. Pretty stunning views through the day. Today we have a longer ride for day 3. We're going to Vic, which is 81 k's, and it looks possibly pretty hilly, but on the plus side, it looks incredibly beautiful. We're gonna be leaving by 9 and hoping that we don't have to run into any problems like we have. I'd be surprised if, you know, we have another problem like Elliot's bike being unusable, but you never know, we'll see. And yeah, we've got a lot of waterfalls to see and a lot of places to stop, and hopefully a nice campsite at the end and maybe a beer, because every day we've been saying we want to stop and get a beer, and then we get too tired when we get to site because we want to still do our tents.
Your camera like Bluetooth?
No. Oh, day 3, and it's 9:30 a.m. and we're actually ready to leave.
This is 3 hours earlier than yesterday.
2.5
hours earlier than the day before.
That is damn, that guy's got his shirt on.
nearly the end of day 3. We just came up a monster climb. It's hard to see. There's Nathan. And that road down the bottom is where we came from.
It felt like forever, but it was probably only like 800.
Yeah, I was gonna say a kilometer, but a kilometer seems like too much.
Oh, fantastic.
Night 3 camp. Pretty beautiful. We have 72 kilometers, pretty flat today, and tomorrow is going to be a big one, so we're going to try and make the most of today and see some black sand beaches and a cool valley, and hopefully we can get to camp even earlier this time.
I didn't see the name.
Cotton Blannuts.
Super
Super.
Sure. Are you going all the way over?
No.
Oh, hello there.
Day 5 lunch. Finally,
Yeah, I lost my fork again.
I have time to use the chair. This is the most exorbitant thing I brought on this trip, and it's the first time I've actually gotten use for it. The most glamorous lunch spot, but there is a cool glacier over there. It does look a bit apocalyptic. And we're not doing much better by hiding in this tunnel. That looks delicious, Cleggy.
Thanks. Tell me what
A bachelor's pasta and sauce
Bachelor's pasta is just a terrible name.
What else has it got in it?
with a slice of Gouda cheese and one slice of salami.
Oh,
One slice.
Does not look good.
It's like lukewarm now.
Kinda looks like it's already come up.
I've had
I've got cottage pie with noodles and chicken flavoured rice.
Yuck. We're on to day 6 now. Getting pretty close to the end of the south coast. I've kind of pulled up a little bit less sick finally, which is nice, or just no sicker than I was getting. So far it's been really good. You know, we've had our teething issues over the last 6 days. Elliot's bike problems. Nathan's got a bit of knee pain. Cleggy has a bit of knee pain. I think we should have expected some of these problems, but we were a bit dumb. None of us trained for it, and none of us really did much more preparation than sorting out the bikes in terms of like, well, we hadn't actually ridden the bikes much. We hadn't used the gear very much. We kind of just bought it and hoped it would work. For example, my panniers don't sit on the rack of my bike very well. So for the first few days, they were just falling off and getting close to doing some damage to my bike. We finally have been having, you know, I'm not going to say a whole day. Yesterday, the whole day was pretty good. But a lot of moments through the days where we actually are working really well, getting places, and we can actually see the sights that we came to see. You know, I think that's pretty important. Part of me does wonder why we chose Iceland as the first spot to do this. So none of us have gone bikepacking before. Elliot, Dylan and I have gone backpacking a fair bit. Elliot a lot more, but none of us have gone bikepacking. I'm not a cyclist.
no one else is really a cyclist. And we chose a really difficult spot to do it, in a sense, like logistically very difficult. We're in a different country, like getting the bikes here was very difficult, and it is harsh here. Like the weather is ridiculous, and part of me wonders like what were we thinking? But now that we're here, I think the challenge adds such a fun element to it, you know, and we're seeing things that I honestly have never seen anything like it before. It's a sunny morning. You really don't get too much sun here, so it makes it very, very nice when it comes out. We're going for a hike before we ride. Stop. Get away.
More ice than I've ever eaten in my entire life right now. Now this is Iceland. I'm gonna say 10.
Oh, nothing like it.
Camp for the night. Some random person's backyard, pretty much. Today was actually nice and easy. For the first time in a while. We started off with a really nasty headwind that we thought was never going to end. So we had a pretty long lunch, and then after that long lunch, the wind seemed to disappear. And after that, it was pretty cruisy. A bunch of really nice sites to stop at, and a pretty nice accommodation to finish it. Doesn't really have the bells and whistles, but it's got toilets and apparently free coffee. When we arrived at this accommodation, they offered us free coffee, and they said, hey, this is part of the deal with your campsite, you know, you can have as much free coffee. And I think they might get rid of that deal after us, because we ended up sitting around that coffee machine for about 2 or 3 hours and must have had 7 cups of hot drink each. Fuck! This road sucks.
Yes.
We are on day 8, halfway through pretty much across a trip across, God, what am I trying to say? Halfway through for our trip across Iceland. Done most of the south coast pretty much, and we're doing the east coast today. The campsite has been pretty awesome. Got this nice little kitchen with a kettle and multiple coffee makers and that, so we could have an actual good dinner last night. And there was a dryer as well last night, and it was sunny. And it's been pretty good because we've managed to dry all of the wet gear that we've been riding in for the last, 7 days. And we've actually got a bit of a reset on our hands here. Like, my shoes are dry for the first time. My shoes were wet before I started riding on day 1, and they're actually dry now. My socks are dry, everything is charged, and we've got another, 7 or 8 days of riding to go. So we'll see how we go from here. We found out you can get sunburnt in Iceland yesterday. Other than that, we're a bit of a well-oiled machine at this point, our little peloton. We're about to absolutely fly along this section. I can't even know if you can see how windy it is right now. But this is a tailwind. Look at that.
How many Ks have you done?
We drank beers for lunch with 20 Ks to go. Would not recommend. I feel so fat, slow. This hill is like 2%. That's doing me in. I don't know where the other guys are, but somehow they're even further behind. It's grim. Don't do it. It was fun until we had to start riding. Like in the distance, treating the beers like a carb load. It's light work. Still more hills to go in the distance, mate. Day's not done. Fucking demolished Cleggy on the KOMs, if you were wondering. He's so slow. He actually beat me. What a day. Yeah, we'll see if it feels better tomorrow. And you can't really see it, but there's a road that goes along there. And that is our start tomorrow. Okay, who puts the campsite at the top of a 1.5 kilometer climb? There's snow-capped mountains there. We're climbing it to get to camp. Jeez. Found a shortcut today, which will skip one of the days. But the downside is we are riding up a dirt road. Apparently gets up to 17%, but it cuts off 70 kilometers, which will give us the rest day that we need to kind of recoup because we're all a bit dead. Oh God, this is kind of tough to ride one-handed, but we brought gravel bikes for a reason. You can't really see it, but there's a big old hill in the background. 600 meters straight up, 600 meters straight down, and 50 Ks pretty much flat. Here we go. The very top of that ridge line. So we kind of go up, that's what we've signed up for today. Jesus Christ. I reckon we're walking this one. I don't have access to my easiest gear, so I'm dying. That is cooked. The blokes fell victim. Honestly, maybe the smart option, because I'm dead. So tough. I didn't even see the waterfalls. All the way. More. More. I don't even think that's the end. That was mental. Just did the equivalent of, I reckon, Green Hill Road in South Australia, but on a gravel road on 20+ kilo bikes after riding like 700 Ks in the last 8 days. None of us are that fit. I managed to snag the king of the mountain. I was right, I told Cleggy, mate, you're gonna be feeling it tomorrow. Where is he? Nowhere to be seen. It's difficult to convey just how steep this is, but you can see him there. That is easiest gear, grinding, barely crawling up. Isn't it battle scars?
Mine's actually really good.
Elliot's got it as well. Like he's got it nice and distinct. Not bad. Nathan is not entertained by the Euros. How do you feel about the wind? Love it. It's pretty great. How do you feel about the hot springs yesterday, Elliot?
They were beautiful. I feel relieved. Hot water has cured my pain.
Day 10 of riding is about to kick off. It's a pretty beautiful day and nice and sunny, and we've all invested in some sunscreen after getting quite burnt over the last few days. Been unusually hot for Iceland. We've been getting high teens, early 20s. 21 degrees today, which, you know, when we looked at the forecast, the max was supposed to be 12 degrees. We're pretty relaxed now. We had a nice spa day yesterday. Actually ate a decent breakfast and were able to sleep in past, 7 a.m, which was quite nice and quite relaxing to hang out in some very nice spas. Other than that, getting pretty close to the end. After today, 5 more days of riding and then a bus trip into Reykjavik, which is quite nice. It's quite hard, some days while riding, but then other times, you don't want it to end because it's nice. It's surprisingly relaxing when all you have to think about is getting up and going for a ride every day and, getting food. It's pretty easy compared to normal life. But yeah, today's a pretty big day, 110 Ks, anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 meters of elevation. I guess we'll see, but thankfully no dirt roads today, so hopefully it's a little bit easier for us than the other day. We have done about 57 kilometers straight into a headwind, about 800 to 900 meters up in elevation. We've still got 55 kilometers to go. It's hard to see it, but that is the wind. We just came up a fucking mountain. Elliot got hit by a car. We're all pretty tired. This has been an exceptionally difficult day, but hopefully it'll get a bit easier from here, because otherwise we're all going to be in shit moods. Shitter moods, in fact, actually. Ew.
nice little finish, a really nice little hut. Swam in Bird Cum and got a rash. It's a bit annoying. And no, that's not even a joke. He swam in Bird Cum and there's snails that live in there, so now he's got a virus on his back. Thought it was sunburn. He thought he got sunburned for a t-shirt. I had one of my spokes break.
Day 12 is done. It was another pretty tough one. We did about 70 k's or so. The first 30 were pretty chill, going, you know, into a crosswind. And then as we kind of got around a corner with 40 k's to go, we just got hit with winds that were just as bad as day 11 again. And none of us had really recovered from day 11, so things slowed down a lot, literally getting blown off the road again. There was one bit where it was a 10% downhill and we were like pedaling to get 10 k's an hour down it. And for context, for day 11, you know, we were riding in the saddle for 7.5 hours and my average heart rate was around 150 for that 7.5 hours. Which is insane because that is like my average heart rate for 5-minute 15 k's when I'm running. You know, pushing myself to the extent of 5-minute 15 k's for running for 7.5 hours. I mean, I know it's on a bike, which is different, but still, it drained us. The other thing today was just, you know, the other night after the ride, you know, we ate a lot, but you just can't eat enough. So I think everyone just hunger flattered today as well. So we're kind of reconsidering our options tomorrow because the wind is not getting any better and we're riding in the exact same direction tomorrow. So we're considering, you know, enjoying ourselves and actually just taking a bus to the next town and, you know, getting there and watching the Euros, because I think everyone is a bit dead in the last few days and we came here to enjoy our time. And I'll definitely say for myself, the last 2 days have not been enjoyable. There's not really been any redeemable moments. So the bus seems like a pretty good option. And I think it's gotten everyone's spirits up since we brought that up. The campsite here is pretty nice. Their showers are immaculate. There's a good kitchen. There's a good fish and chip spot. So everyone's spirits are pretty high. But I have a feeling if we didn't have the option of catching a bus tomorrow, spirits would be a little bit lower knowing we'd have to go 100 kilometers into a headwind. But we'll see. You know, they've got to figure out that whole bus situation first. This is the hack for sleeping in Iceland. One eye mask. This one keeps it on. And this covers everything. And you will sleep like an angel.
Day 12 and we've run in to, well, I've run into a new problem. One spoke broke, which I thought, you know, there's nothing I can do, so I rode on it for 74 kilometers with about 7.5 k's of gravel section, which was the only choice at that point. But now I've got 2 spokes broken and that's a little bit riskier to ride on. So that's locked in the choice to catch the bus today. We already all wanted to catch the bus and now we've got a really good reason for it. There is a bike shop in the next town over. Well, there's an outdoor goods shop in the next town over that do bike stuff, so I'm going to take my bike there. Hopefully they can fix it, because all I want is 2 new spokes. Hey, okay. Oh.
Just luxury. Warm baguette. Butter.
This is the new Subway sub. What do you call it?
Cheese ham.
Cheese ham.
We've got some competition for the bus. Apparently they can only fit like 3 or 4 bikes on it. We've got 5. And there's 2 other gentlemen, so it was a few more than 7 bikes. There is about 15 bikes, and there is my broken one. We just went from having 2 bikes on this bus. As a group, we managed to fit, I think, 13 bikes in.
Sorry, it's
The
full. I
website
can't.
says maximum capacity 2 bikes.
Yeah. And then on the plus side, we found our now again. It's been a few days since we saw him.
Thought he died.
We successfully made it on the bus after doing some of the most insane Tetris with the bikes ever. Did not think we were going to get on for a second. When we first pulled up, they literally told us, oh, there is no space for any bikes. And there was us standing around there with 9 bicycles at one point. This is the man of the hour. He got in the back, took everyone's bikes out, we took their wheels off, we took all their bags off, made them carry them. Shoved 2 bikes in the boot of it. The rest are all in a trailer. Now we've got a stack of panniers, a wheel. We're all dying a bit now. So we've got an hour-long trip. Not our most difficult day physically, but logistically that was a tough one. But we're here, and it is a lot less windy. So hopefully I can get my bike fixed tomorrow morning and be good to ride.
I do not want to see that.
Drive bread. Spread the jeans.
Fucking insane.
Brexit.
I think you got it!
I didn't say snap that. I didn't say it.
I don't care, you fucking said it! I'm an entire pint of Guinness on my fucking lap!
Eli's round.
Cat in the apartment, cat in the apartment. Hello. Bill? Not Nathan. It's 12:30. We have not started riding the 100 kilometers that we need to today. But on the plus side, can't see it obviously because it's some spokes, but we managed to get the spokes fixed. Shout out to the bike shop, of which the name I've forgotten. They were really helpful because they said they didn't have time to fix it today, and then I begged them pretty much to fix it, and they did, which is great, and they were really nice. They also confirmed there that it was exceptionally windy the other day when we were riding. He said he was driving his Winnebago, and it was so windy he couldn't get it above 50 k's an hour in a 100 zone, so makes us feel a bit better. The weather's looking absolutely immaculate today, and I think we're all actually in pretty good moods, but we'll see how 100 kilometers changes that, and hopefully everything's all good. Like the first time it's not my pannier that fell.
Relax. This is so cool.
Day 14 has been a ripper so far. The weather is picked up in the best possible way. It's pretty warm, so we're actually all pretty sweaty at the moment, and the 1 p.m. start ended up not being a problem because we cruised past our first 50 k's in, you know, just a couple of hours, which is pretty nice, averaging just over 20 today. And we just had an absolute killer uphill, bit of a eagle on the hill vibe, and yeah, there's oh geez, that's so bright. Nathan making his way up. Woo! Dylan got the KOM today, followed by yours truly. Clegatron's still not recovered after those sprints he did a few days ago after the beers. Got about, what, 50 k's to go. Flattening out. Less than 50 k's. What an absolute ripper of a day. And exactly what we needed after 5 days of pretty tough. What happens when it gets above 20 degrees in Iceland. Just shit covering it.
Has christened our trip with the first flat
Took a while.
by getting a double flat.
Hell yeah.
In 2 flats in like maybe 30 seconds. Caffeine time. What you're forced to do when you didn't bring enough water on your ride. Another double flat. A little bit more annoying this time. Pretty good spot to do it. Still grinding. Elliot's had another flat. And Cleggy ran over a razor. Shot sealant, that little white stuff everywhere. Having a tough one today. It was an easy start, but you know, challenges every other step of the way. It is what it is.
Never want it to be too easy.
Yeah, poor Elliot. That looks annoying. Sorry? It's looking a bit flat, but kind of the same as before. Yeah, just got to get a few more Ks.
Just get to the end.
Cleggy survived 30 Ks on a flat, and my bike's falling over. Whatevs. 30 Ks on a flat. Great success. There's an Isbillen truck.
Isbillen.
Lovely. True. We went. Hey, how's it going?
Oh, hey.
7 flats in 5 kilometers, 95 Ks, pretty hilly. Spirit's pretty high though, done well. And yeah, Isbillen. Great success. This is kind of the reality of it as well. Big old trucks overtaking you every now and then. Day 15 is about to kick off. Day 14 was full of challenges, but was still a pretty fun day nonetheless. You know, we had problems around flat tires, leaving late. It was mainly mechanical problems, but even then, it was still a pretty fun day. We're feeling it a little bit more now, getting into camp kind of late, but it is what it is. Gentlemen are fixing up their bikes now. I've got 2 more days locked in for riding. 100 Ks today and 120 Ks tomorrow, which is really nice, but you know, maybe if you asked us a week ago, we were all very much looking forward to getting this done. You know, days 8, 9, 10 were when we were all getting pretty exhausted, but I can already see myself missing the camping and the simplicity of getting up and riding every day. Probably I'm not going to miss, you know, certain parts of it, but there's definitely things I will miss. I won't miss mechanical problems and having to see Dylan in Lycra every day. Other than that, you know, there's a lot to love about this. Yeah, 100 Ks today. We got a town halfway through and a nice town at the end. Hopefully it should be a good one, nice and hilly, and hopefully we don't have any more mechanical problems. If we do, at least we're leaving 3 hours earlier today. Best work, we are leaving an hour and a half late, and we've copped the first flat of the day. Hold on guys, this is the hack if you guys get a lot of flats. Bring a chair. It's a bit of a dick move. Yeah. In this case, I feel like many hands doesn't make light work. So, while we're here, time to do a cycling fit review. We've got Nathan in the Hoka Crockers and some Dantas socks. Cycling Nicks with the Adelaide Crows shorts over the top. North Face not waterproof jacket. Not waterproof at all. And a sweet Giro helmet and a buff. I gotta ask though, how have the Hoka Crockers worked?
So good. Like the rainy days, getting into dry shoes after a rainy day.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I hate on them, but these bad boys, they do not dry.
I probably did pay for it in like the fit though, like my
not the fit. You don't look like you're riding 1,300 kilometers. Yeah. $50Ks of headwind, now 60Ks of tailwind. How do we feel? Fabulous.
Can I say how I feel?
How do you feel?
Fabulous.
Fabulous. Nathan got smacked on the ass by a car today, unfortunately. Knocked off his bike, but he is all good. But he's catching the bus from the last town to camp tonight, which is absolutely fag.
Wow. Well, I just did like 100 Ks. Easy though, feel fine.
Yeah, dude, you're so weak for catching the bus after getting hit by a car. God.
The drone.
Oh, good day.
Yeah, alright.
111 kilometers done today. Pretty hilly, tough day on the trot. We had a flat to start the day. Nathan got hit by a car, which sucks, but he's fine. And he even rode the last couple Ks with us. But how the fuck is this? Woo! Got in luxury here. Give us a meal review tonight. What did you eat?
Butter chicken, spicy chicken noodles, Hungarian goulash. 8.9 out of 10. I would recommend it.
What about you, Nathan? What did you eat tonight?
This is definitely the least coast noodle. Beef teriyaki is one of my favourite teriyaki, yeah. Capsicum. And then finish it up with Icelandic lamb soup.
Nice. Cleggy, what's that cat food you're eating there?
It's actually noodles and a good source of protein.
Plain noodles and tuna. What have you got, Dylan?
I've got mushroom couscous, crouton soup, hot chicken noodle, and I'm gonna have a capsicum.
Nice. I've got creamy carbonara, 2 of these and an entire thing of Pringles and some water to wash it all down. $122Ks with a few hills, and we are done for the trip. Everyone's pulled up pretty tired, I think, from yesterday. It was a tough day. How are you feeling, Elliot?
Fantastic. Legs are shot, but that's what Panadol's for.
You're looking pretty ripped. Today might be ibuprofen day. Nathan, thoughts on final day?
Pretty good. Hoping for a massive, easy tailwind.
But no, explain to me what happened.
I was riding. We're about 60 Ks in, and it was a pretty busy road. And normally we've had pretty good luck with drivers, like they give us like a lot of space. You get the occasional like shit driver, and in this case we got a terrible driver who tried to overtake, saw oncoming cars, and didn't stop, just committed. And I was like sitting on Elliot's wheel, maybe just like half a meter sort of in the lane, and it managed to miss them, but as it overtook, it snapped my shoulder, and it wasn't that hard, like it didn't really hurt, but it made me lose balance, and then I shouldered the ground. Yeah, he was such a he was like, he like didn't want to be there. He was like rushing his wife. He was like, just, you know, did the, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. A couple other people were at the scene, but he was like so keen to get out of there, didn't really care that he had hit me with his car. You know, was checking his car, which was
Checking his car and calling his wife.
yeah, it was like, come on, let's go. I was like, Jesus Christ. And his wife was really concerned, which was really sweet.
Yeah, and Icelandic local who came past.
Icelandic local who pulled over and filled in like the police report and was like just dealing with it all for me. But yeah, just more of a shock, really. Could have been way worse than it was. And there were a few more close calls, honestly, like where cars were
122 more Ks. It's been kind of weird. Simultaneously felt like the longest 2 weeks and also the shortest 2 weeks.
You know, looking back, like a lot of the camping nights have kind of blended together. Cleggy, how are you feeling about this last day?
Pretty good. Can't wait, let's go. Let's get it.
You seem so excited.
Baguette.
Oi.
True, yeah. Number hot dog.
I was counting before. I think this is number 8.
That's actually less than I thought.
I mean, funny, been on the road 15, 16 days.
A hot dog a day keeps the IBS happening. Some real foggy action. Not great visibility. One of the tough things about climbing into fog is the fact that you can't see the end of the hill. Yeah. So it's just been going for forever and we keep thinking we're at the top. Some absolutely shocking visibility. This is the only acceptable cyclist lunch. Bloody brilliant. This will get me the next 50 Ks like a dream. Oh la la. Oh. The discount baguette is so stale.
That sucks! I never regret a swim, except for Cum Lagoon. I definitely regret it.
Rise, Nathan. Rise. How did I get here? Rainy way to finish what's been an epic journey. We are getting pushed. 1,300-ish kilometers completed. Finally done. Lap of Iceland. Great success. Drenched on the last day. Here we are. Camera to camera. Elliot grabbing us some beers. This is pretty much the only reason why we did this ride.
Beer doesn't have a taste so good. Let's go.
Whoa, that's medicinal.
What does that taste like?
Didn't even finish it. We made the mistake of going to the pub before camp. Now it's 10 p.m. We're all kind of drunk and none of us can ride. Like, we're just in pain. My legs don't work. The free shots were nice. The free chips were amazing. But this sucks now. It's not fun anymore. It's so cold. We are done. It's been a freezing cold night to finish off after the pub. On a bit of a downside, my Cedar Summit dry bags are not as waterproof as they used to be. So my sleeping mat, sleeping bag, puffer jacket, sleeping bag liner and pillow are all soaking wet and it's cold. It's so cold right now, you won't be able to see it, but there is steam coming off my shoes and socks. It is freezing. And you can probably hear the rain because it is pouring down. The people at the bar we went to were absolutely lovely. We got a free shot, meal portions that were out of this world, and a free bowl of chips, which was just like great. because at the moment we can eat anything. Like they could have just kept serving us food all night. Probably would have kept eating it. But it was just a really nice end to the trip. They were so lovely. It was just great. Tomorrow morning, we are catching the bus back to Reykjavik. Obviously, we didn't want to, you know, have to deal with the traffic into Reykjavik. Everyone is absolutely dead right now. Setting up tents in the rain was horrible. And, like, honestly, right now, it's so cold. Here's what it is. I'm sure I'll still sleep like a bloody angel. Look at that. Hard to tell, but that is drenched. Everything is drenched. Everything is so wet. But yeah, it's great to finish. It's a pretty awesome feeling. I'm so looking forward to not having to sleep in a tent every night. I know I'll miss it, but right now it's just like, I don't want to. But it is what it is. And hopefully we all wake up in time for our bus tomorrow. That'll be a test for us. The bus is at 9:30, and for context, our earliest start for the entire trip of riding was 9:40. So 9:40 was our earliest start of the whole trip, and after our 3 biggest days in a row, we're going to be waking up at 9. Well, I don't even know. Starting at 9:30. Don't know when that means we're waking up, but earlier. Anyways, it's been an awesome trip so far. Looking forward to a few days where we can be normal tourists in Iceland. You know, hire a car, go see a lagoon, shop at a gift shop. Should be bloody lovely. But it's been an awesome trip so far. One last stint on the bikes, a couple Ks to get from the bus stop to the accommodation. Bus driver was pretty rough on the bikes when he was loading them, so he's broken one of my spokes on the back. So my bike is running like at its absolute worst right now, but only a couple Ks to go.
Playing game of the year.
Yeah, it's like 230 points.
And we rode along this.
Currently driving along day 1, and it's pretty much the same conditions as day 1. Rainy.
It just looks like pure
Hilly.
suicide, this road.
Yeah.
Bikini. What are Speedos called in America?
Budgie smugglers?
I'm gonna stick with bikini. I feel like it was bikini was a bomb site and like
Budgie smugglers.
Alan.
What the fuck?
I
This
know a lot
shot
of
is
people love
crazy
some
good.
Asparagus.
I'd be happy now.
The top 10 murder capital cities on Earth, wherein total homicides are divided by the number of residents.
Which country?
Was that Port Moresby?
9 times in the top.
Oh. Dylan's.
Awooga! You are not allowed in. Awooga!
Dylan, what would you do differently next time you ride your bike around Iceland?
I would not swim in the second largest bird breeding ground in the Northern Hemisphere.
giving myself the snail rash that plagued my ride.
Come Lagoon, baby.
Come Lagoon.
Check my bike.
Before leaving.
See if it works.
So you don't have to ride 70 kilometers in your hardest gear uphill into a headwind.
Probably check. It would probably gain 10 kilos, so I wouldn't bonk 3 times on a 110k day. Even though I ate, I could not have eaten anymore. So incredibly windy. I don't even know if I could do that differently.
But would you also not purposely get hit by a car just for attention next time?
That was the wind.
Oh, it was the winds, not get hit by the wind. Yeah.
I think that was Elliot's fault actually.
Yeah, Elliot got hit by the wind. I would get panniers that fit my bike so they don't fall off.
Were they falling off a bit in the trip?
They fell off probably every 15 kilometers for the first 5 days of the trip.
That sounds like it sucks.
Yeah, I know, it broke multiple of my spokes.
Unlucky.